Hi Libra, welcome to your late August reading. So, August has been quite confusing, but nothing really starts moving until the 25th, which is today. It's easy to chase something that has always been an ideal. It's easy to lose yourself in the chase of an ideal. It's easy to chase that which is much less than you deserve. It's easy to sell yourself short and to engage in reckless behavior that ends up having enormous consequences. So whatever is making you want to act out, whatever is making your emotions pour out in strange behavior, be careful as soon as that energy turns sexual, because there are some dire consequences in store for those who would casually hurt you or be with you right now. And unfortunately, the same for you. Anyone that you have toyed with or are toying with seems to have their moment of vengeance. Conversely, anyone who's been toying with you, it looks very much like karmic retribution for them. So, if karma's going around cleaning house, I would suggest that you stay on the right side of things by being compassionate, being understanding, but not pouring yourself completely into any one relationship or the thoughts about any one relationship. This is one of those rare moments that Libra is asked to be an independent and to think of themselves outside of the definition of someone who is loved, someone who is with another person, someone who is a partner. What does Libra look like if they're not that? What is Libra if Libra is solitary? If the great connector is not connecting, is it still a Libra? Or do we then start to have a crisis of faith, a crisis of conscience? If the most Libra thing about you is that you can persuade anyone into anything, that you can always get your way, which is a lot of the time what Librans want and are like, then if something doesn't go your way and someone else takes the initiative to move forward and something bad, call out something toxic, just be honest, it can be very painful for you. Because you're the one who's supposed to take initiative. You're the one who's supposed to begin things and end things. You're the one who's in control. But in Virgo season, control is such a relative term. Virgos live in that area of domination and submission where the lines of control and power get very murky. The more you try to exert control from this Queen of Wands strong man position, the less power you will have. That's not the way to finesse this season. It can't be done by brute force. And you have Mercury in your sign, so there is a part of you that wants to use your words to cut right through everything. And it's a mistake. It will cost you dearly in the financials. Financial areas, aspects of your life will suffer from you not being able to control your temper or control, your righteous indignation, whatever it is. And once you make that misstep, everything, all that momentum you have going slows down. So it's really in your best interest to not be extremely forceful and controlling. When you want to control the entire environment, how it's going to happen, what's going to happen. You're going to say this, I'm going to say this, then they're going to say this. I think you have to move on to a different phase of your life where different things are now expected of you. And so you can't be pining for a life that you wouldn't fit into even if you could. A life that wouldn't want you. You know, a lot of Virgo season for you is about embracing the truth of who you are and not having to run so far from really grounded things, not having to panic when something feels real and grounded. After the fact, now that you've perhaps done a runaway routine, the guilt that's setting in is pretty severe. It feels, at least to one person involved, like something was taken away. When your friends take your safe spaces from you, that's an issue. But again, it's prompting you to go into this cave, so I can't even be mad at it. A big part of reaching that star energy is accepting responsibility in your life for who you are, not for how well you can take care of everyone else around you. I'm back. I was mid-message, but I could feel myself starting to lose steam. There's something really consuming about your energy right now, and it's cool, and it gets really, really good for you later in September. But I feel the drain right now. It's that 12th house. For those of you who are Libra rising, it's that 12th house. Everything is starting to stir, and it takes so much energy away from you, which you don't really, I don't think you realize how much energy you have and how much you do until something drains you. And then you're like, wow, I really do a lot. Where do I get the energy? Because right now I don't have any, and I can't get through this list of things that usually I zoom through once a day, getting done early. And now I'm looking at this list and I feel like I couldn't do this in a week. So if you're starting to feel that lethargic pullback, it does take a couple of days for it to catch up with you, of course, because you have Mercury in your sign now. So it's giving you like a jolt, which, remember, you have to keep in mind that this is not Libra season, this is Virgo season. So Mercury moving into Libra is going to give you this false sense of speed. And you can go, just kind of jerk forward, but ruin your transmission. You can burn out because it's not sustainable, because Virgo season does the opposite. It's not going to give you what Mercury is giving you. It's going to give you the opposite. It's going to slow you down. It's going to pull you into the dark. It's going to pull you into Libra rising, into the dark, like the true. Now, the ironic part about this is that here's Virgo season pulling you into yourself. Nothing you can really do about it. Circumstances, mood, vibe, the way other people are acting, everything is making you want to be alone. But as soon as you take time to be alone, everyone's like, oh, look how self-centered this person is. Typical Libra. And you're like, wait. No, actually, it's hard for me to take a moment for myself and not be doing for everyone else and not be keeping track of everyone else and not be organizing and getting their lives together because they can't do it. I never do this. And then as soon as I do it, you guys are like, typical Libra. And it's like, what? What have I been doing all these years? What have I been doing all this time? And now you're going to act like this is how I've been the whole time? Do you know where you'd be in your lives if I had been like this the whole time? I never take time off, says the frustrated Libra. But you know why? It's because everyone has you under their lens right now. Everybody's looking so close at you. That's why everything you do, they want to put it in a nice little box. You know? I gotta tell you, whenever I meet people and they go, can you guess my sign? I never fucking said I was psychic, bro. No, I don't know your fucking sign. Oh, well, I'm a Pisces. So tell me about myself. Okay, well, what's your rising? What's your moon? What time were you born? Where were you born? What's your Vedic? Like, are you kidding me? What do you want from me? Like, you want me to just shove you into some box and be like, that's what people want to do to you right now. Like, you're like taking time for yourself. You don't even want to take time for yourself. You're being pulled into it. And here comes everybody being like, typical Libra, because they just want to put you in a box. Because that's what makes everybody feel good when we're in Virgo season. Sort it, okay? Put it away, close the drawer. And Virgos be putting wild shit in the drawers and closing the drawer like it didn't happen, it doesn't exist, boom, it's gone out of their view, it's gone out of their mind. Do not get into that energy. Do not let people put you in that box. No. You can be under their lens all they want, okay? But if they think you, a breathing, living person with a beating heart, are going to let yourself be sorted and sifted and put in some box and forgotten about, no, they're wrong. You're not a typical Libra. You're actually going through a little bit of a dark night of the soul, and that's also fine. Because of course you're cardinal, you persevere, that's just what you do. Like, it doesn't matter that your emotions are all over the place right now. I get it. There's some doubt, there's some fear, I got you. But listen, the cool thing about you is that you're stubborn about the right things. You know how to hold on to that. You see. You're stubborn about the right things. You know how to hold on to the right things, no matter how up and down, confused, you may be. There's certain things, baby, you're cardinal. There's certain things that you just know about yourself. And you know what you know? Libras always be knowing. Listen, you know what you know, Libra? You know that no matter how tough it gets, no matter how confusing it gets, no matter how much you might have lost the thread, you know, stubbornly so, that you dominate, that you win, that you always win. Because you are cardinal air, baby. Like, nobody can do it like you can do it because you're smarter, you're faster, and you're made of steel, you're stronger. It's not even just that you're the smartest. I didn't say you're the smartest. I didn't say you're the fastest. Oh, no. No. As a Gemini, I respectfully disagree. But you are made of steel, where we are made of nothing. You see what I'm saying? It's not just what you know. It's not just how fast you are. It's the amount of substantiveness that's coming with that speed and that intelligence. There's something real. What do I always say about you guys? It's the steel hand and the velvet glove. There's something real underneath all this airiness. Okay? Because by the time you get to Gemini, there's nothing there. There's something still forming. We're getting all the thoughts and all the ideas together for you so you could do something with it. And boy, do you ever do something with it. And you get real stubborn about who you are, what you deserve real early in life too. Usually because you're very pretty. And that helps, right? It helps you set like the appropriate standards, okay? Now, when you get to Aquarius, they've taken all this material that you've pulled this intellect into the material. They take all this material and they turn it back into intellect. So this is like this transmutation process, but it has to come into the material world. It has to manifest as something before it can then be elevated once again. You know, we do this. We sift our information in our own way. Virgos sift circumstance. We sift ideas. Okay, and we all have our own place in that thing. You are like the kiln of it. You bring it into existence and fire it up and show us what it can be. And then Aquarius takes that and says, from that I can deduce this. Okay? So we all work together, but your part in this material world, listen to me, is very important. And so you know this and it's solid within you. You don't doubt who you are. Well then, let's work retroactively then. If you don't doubt who you are and you know that you are divinely protected because you'll always be feeling this way, and you're right, then just work backwards. When September starts to really mess with you at the beginning of the month, just work backwards. Okay, I'm right here right now. I cannot see straight. I cannot feel straight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is happening to me. I thought I had everything under control, but my emotions are not cooperating. When you start to feel this way, jump over here and be like, oh yeah, but in a couple of weeks I'm gonna remember who I am, and I actually remember who I am because I'm very stubborn about who I am. I'm stubborn even when I'm like this. I'm stubborn when I'm like this. I'm always stubborn. So you're gonna use your stubbornness to your advantage, okay? And you're gonna remember who you are. And so in the midst of going through this, you will find a way with your intellect, with your cardinal badassness, you're gonna find a way to push through this confusion, because none of this is real. This is what Virgo season can do to you if you let it. You'll start to see monsters everywhere. No. You know who you are. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of circumstance, there are certain things that don't change. You know what doesn't change? You know what doesn't change? People. People don't change. Listen, a lot of people think, oh, that's very fatalistic, whatever. It's a part of my religion. I can't help it. But people don't change. You can see that as fatalistic, you can see that as depressing, or you can see it as liberating. You are who you are, Libra. These circumstances, these up and downs, these pains, these hurts, this taking and giving, you're still who you are. And you better remember who you are, because if you start to do things that are underhanded or messed up, there is this divine system of justice that is looking after you and that which is yours, and you don't want to get caught up in all that. Fair fights only. Remember I said that, because that might be the most important thing you can take from this entire reading. And it might be why you had to wait this long for it, because that is the most sound advice that you're going to get for September. No underhanded tactics. Fair fights only. If you're frustrated and you're upset, which it looks obviously like, halfway through September, you start to feel like toxic, even to yourself. Detox. Don't detox by yelling at the people around you. Go actually detox. Do a juice cleanse, or all these like strange things people be doing. Not strange things. I didn't mean it like that. I the one specific thing that I meant, but I don't want to say what it is. Just do whatever makes you feel detoxed. Juice cleanses are not strange by any stretch of the imagination. I was thinking of something completely different. I'm sorry. So, if you have someone in your life and they're no longer a part of your life, but you're still kind of treating them like they're a part of your life and you're still trying to look after them, you will drown in that mess. And it's easy to pull you into it. And once you're pulled into it, whoever is pulling you into it will take your power. That's what they want. I told you, you got a lot of it. Everybody wants it. Yeah? You want to know? Let's talk. Let's talk. Libra, let's talk. It's been a while, huh? It's been a while. I get it. I like to give you space when you're wilding out, You deserve it. I mean, again, you're a cardinal sign. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not stupid. You know how you get people to stop trying to take your power and just let you be? You know how you can stop all power conflicts and really live a very, very nice life? You have to learn to walk next to people through the doors of understanding and progress and wealth, not in front of them. You are very much that Roman general who leads from within the troops. He's somewhere riding there in the midst of them, never in front of them. Why would he? It would make him such an easy target. But also, imagine every other man in that cavalry, in that centurion. Imagine standing next to the most famous person you'll ever meet. And knowing that somewhere in that crowd, they're fighting next to you. Wouldn't that make you want to fight harder? Wouldn't it be so very inspiring? Wouldn't that particular general be able to get something out of you that nobody else would? No matter how inspiring the speech, no matter how much riding back and forth, yelling at the top of your lungs, what would be more compelling than you, the leader, the one that knows what to do, the one that has the strength and the power to get lost in their ranks, to lead not just by example, but with complete humility. Libra, what you're missing and what you often miss is that your likability has nothing to do with your superiority. People don't like you because you're prettier than them, or you're better than them, or smarter than them. People like you because you're good. And it's obvious. Right? So when you get into a position of power, and that goodness begins to be tainted, it's not like the rest of us, where you're throwing gray paint at a gray wall. With you, it's splashes of blood on a white shirt. It's alarming. It's obvious. And it can quickly burn you up because it's just too noticeable. It's too drastic of a change from what is your intrinsic nature. So how does a Libra gain enormous amounts of power, success, wealth, etc., or all of the above, and maintain the trust of the people, maintain the good favor of the people, maintain a spotless white shirt? You have to lead from amongst the ranks. You have to stop wanting to set yourself apart and start seeing exactly that urge and tendency as the enemy of your actual goal. If your goal is to retain power peacefully and calmly, then you have to go back to the Tao Te Ching. Now we're talking straight strategy. Now I should start charging you. Do you understand what I'm saying? The most successful leader is the one that is not seen nor heard from. The second most successful is the one that is popular and loved. You understand what I'm saying? You are already all of these things that make people shudder and shake and be envious. And then you have this nature and this ability to take that and make it even more amazing, yeah? And so you present and are truly this fabulous creature. And it just stands to your logic that should then mean that you should be able to lead people shimmying in all your glamour and beauty through these doors of understanding, progress, wealth, whatever it may be, style, dare I say. And everyone should just follow and be happy and be grateful. Why not? Why isn't that okay? Because you have misunderstood something fundamental about people. Yes, people like to be inspired. Yes, people adore beauty and art. Yes, people love a good fucking show. But they don't trust it. You know what they trust? Someone who puts themselves in their shoes, in their place. Someone who can speak to them not from here, but like this. someone who is relatable. Let's go back to that sore spot. Al Gore was an intellectual. And George W. was someone that you legitimately could have a beer with. Even now, if you watch interviews of it, you could have a beer with George W. Probably have a good time. Relatability. Out of all of this confusion, there's so many roads you can take to beat yourself up. So many things you might think you have done wrong. You haven't. You're just being a human being, okay? You have feelings. Steel hand in velvet glove notwithstanding, you have a heart. Your feelings are hurt. I get it. But if you learn this tactic, if you learn this leadership skill, if you learn that becoming the invisible thought leader, style leader, wealth leader, progressive, whatever is more powerful and safer and easier than shimmying through the door, having everyone hate you for it, being envious of you, trying to take your power all the time, then you spend half your time struggling and battling. If you can choose option A, if you can learn to even sometimes utilize option A and not be that way all the time, but at least when you need to, when it's important, you will save yourself the wrath of the mob. And I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you're looking around at the same world I'm looking at, but the wrath of the mob is coming. And I don't know if you remember who you were for Halloween last year, but I think her name was Marie Antoinette. And so when they say that the world is full of coincidences, I say no, this is just a decoding of the simulation. The simulation runs on certain patterns. Those patterns come up again and again. That's what this is. That's what this is. That's what we do here. Missteps have been cute in the past. There's always been a net. But you have traveled far, far, far above any place where a net could be placed. You are in rarefied air, and you can continue to soar and succeed. Broken hearts come and go. Legacy is forever. Get your head screwed on straight, and let's fucking go. But do it in a way where this power, you don't have to hit people over the head with it. Look at this. Look at this. Don't do this. Do this. Where you don't even know how much you got. You understand me? Humble. Humble yourself before this coming tide does it for you. You're smart enough to get in front of every trend. You're smart enough to get in front of every new idea. So be smart enough to go ghost. Become the most successful of leaders by becoming invisible. And that's why they pay me the big bucks. The extended is now on Vimeo and Patreon. Patreon's easier than anything. I love you.